Hi, I'm Alison, and in this top tips video I'm going to be covering the purchasing system. Easify includes a purchasing system where you can raise purchase orders for your suppliers to order in the goods you need for your stores or counters. However, you can also use the purchasing system to record overhead expenses such as rent, rates, utilities, but also record expenses such as stationery, furniture purchases, that sort of thing. Let's take a look. The first tip will be how to add products to a purchase, because there's lots of different ways you can use. So first of all, we open up the purchasing system and then we raise a new purchase. I'm just going to make this window bigger so it's easier to see. And the first way you can add a product to a purchase is through the main products window. You will load this and then you can just drag the products to the window from the list. Alternatively, if there's a selection of products you wish to add to the purchase, perhaps you're buying something in from a particular category, you can use the Shift key on your keyboard to select a bulk of products and then just drag them to the purchase too. Alternatively, you can also use the Control key on your keyboard to select a variety of different products that may not be together on the list, and then just drag them to the purchase too. The second way of adding products to a purchase is with the product picker or the product search. It's used exactly the same products as we've just seen in the previous view, however, just a different way of seeing them, and here you can search for the products. Some people just prefer this view over the main products window. The third way you can add products to a purchase is just by typing their SKU into this column here. Every product on Easify is given a stock keeping unit or a SKU number. It's a unique number allocated to each product when you enter the item into Easify. If you want Easify to track the stock levels of your product, it will need a unique stock keeping unit. So here you can add in the SKU of your particular items and then they will just be added to the purchase. Personally, I like this way for adding items to a purchase order because it's quite quick as long as you know the items that you're going to be buying. Also on the purchase, you'll see that we've got an order number column. Now this is quite handy. Perhaps you're ordering in some products that you don't normally keep in stock, so there's like special order items. Here, if you were to add the order number on your purchase, then we will need to add a supplier, a comment, and then move the purchase to on order to show that we've actually placed it with our suppliers. If we then go to the order screen, I'll show you how this is useful. So the order number we've just entered onto that purchase relates to this order here. If we now click under his purchase history, we'll see all the purchase orders that have been raised for his particular order. So if you need an easy way to see where you have purchased these products for this client, this is an ideal way of doing this. Earlier I said you can raise purchases for like overhead items too. In order to do this, they don't need to be linked to a product on Easify with its own unique SKU. You can just raise a new purchase. Then you can just type the description of the expense you're incurring into the description box here. Enter your value and enter your VAT code. And again, enter your supplier name. And then that is just a recorded an expense for your overheads. While we're looking at expense purchases, it's an ideal time to look at the purchase types. Under the payment tab, you'll see we've got a field for purchase types. Purchase types are also sometimes known as nominal codes or cost centers, and they categorize the type of expense that you're incurring. This is useful so that when you run your profit and loss over any given period, it can show you how much you've spent on a particular type of expense. Your accountant will also need this for your end-of-year accounts if you are a limited company. We've set up some default purchase types with Easify when you first install it. However, new ones can be added. If you go to Tools, Options, Purchases and Purchase Types, you'll see the list here of all your different purchase types. New ones can be added at the bottom. This is also very important if you're using Easify to submit your VAT returns to HMRC via MTD. All your purchase types will need to be entered onto your purchases. Some purchase types, such as wages, etc., aren't included on a VAT return, so it's important that you set this up correctly. Here you'll see we've got a VATable column. So if the purchase type is to be included on a VAT return, it needs to be ticked. If the purchase type is to be excluded from a VAT return, it needs to be unticked. If it's got a black box like you'll see here, that means that the field hasn't yet been set, so you'll need to either tick it or untick it. As I say, ticking it will include that purchase type on your VAT return, unticking it will exclude it from your VAT returns. You can also set a default purchase type here. Under the Payment tab, you can also enter a payment record for this purchase to show how and when you paid for it. To do this, click on the Till button and then enter in your payment details. By entering in the payment, it will show in the payment history on the purchase itself, but it will also show in the cash book. The cash book is useful because it's money in, money out ledger, and it gives you an idea of your cash flow over any given period of time. You can select the dates that you wish to search for here. Whereas with orders and purchases, you're looking at commitments rather than actual money in. So an order essentially is your customer saying he'd like to order some goods from you, and a purchase is you doing the same to your suppliers. With the cash book, it actually records the physical money in and out of your company, so it really helps with managing your cash flow. Don't forget to place the purchase as on order when you place the PO with your supplier. This will make sure that it's included in the right quarter for your reporting. The same goes if you are retro entering purchases for like past expenses. Make sure that you set the correct ordered on date for those too, and they'll be included in the right period under your profit and loss and purchasing reports. For instance, here we've got a purchase that's currently in progress. When we place the PO with our supplier, we would then move it to on order. By moving the purchase to on order, the ordered on date is automatically set to today's date. Alternatively, this can be manually set. Then when you run your reports, this purchase will be included in the period shown here. You can also copy purchases, which is a very useful feature. Saves a lot of time as well. So to do this, click on the purchase that you wish to copy and then right click and then do Create Copy of Selected Purchase. A new purchase will appear at the top of your list. And basically under the comments it says it's a copy of the previous purchase, and then you can then go into that purchase and amend. The main thing to bear in mind is that the cost prices of the product shown on the copy of the purchase are the current cost prices of those products shown under the main products window. When you copy a purchase, it doesn't copy over any special pricing that you might have had on that original purchase order. If you want the new cost price to be different on all your existing purchases, just change it under the main products window. And last but by no means least, Easify can also detect if your cost price on your products has changed since you last ordered them. Now I have a purchase that I raised earlier in order to demonstrate this. Here we've got a purchase with lots of items on it. And some of these cost prices are different to what is shown in the main products window. For instance, we can see that we're going to be ordering in 30 of this item. The old cost price was £4.60 and the new cost price is now £5. When we move this purchase to on order, Easify will detect that some of the prices have changed. By default, it will update all of them, but you can untick any that you don't want to be updated. If you click OK, your cost price of these items will then be updated in the products window when you refresh it. The thing to bear in mind with this is that if your cost price changes, then your trade and retail prices will change also. Easify works on a cost price plus margin scenario in order to calculate the trade and retail prices. So if you're using this feature, it's worth double checking that you're happy with the current trade and retail prices that have been set. Well, I hope that's been useful. I think that pretty much summarises the top tips for the purchasing system. If you have any questions, please email us at support@easify.co.uk or pop a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified when we release new videos. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.